Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist. I own 52 units of real estate and I help coach people to buy their first multifamily deal. So today I want to talk about the scarcity mindset and specifically how a scarcity mindset helped me build wealth to where I'm at today, but it's not helping me enjoy wealth today. So it's a two different skill set. So as I said in prior videos, a scarcity mindset, you're coming from a place of lack. And, I grew up middle class. My parents immigrated here from Vietnam. So a lot of those who are in the similar situation, you grew up in a scarcity mindset. My parents came here with nothing. They got jobs. They made money. They took care of me and my sister. They got a house that they own. They have a 401k. They have pension. Now they're retired. So they achieved the American dream. And when they were growing up, money was always scarce. I could get things I wanted. Like if I wanted a new pair of shoes, I'd get a new pair of shoes, like once or twice a year. If I wanted a Game Boy, for example, they would get me the Game Boy. So I didn't feel that scarce, but at the same time, it wasn't super abundant, and for good reason. My dad was an aerospace engineer, and he was the main money maker. But in engineering, he survived multiple layoff cycles. My mom worked for the county, so it wasn't high pay, but great benefits, and she was getting pension, and retired at 50, but before she passed away, and and then I kind of adopted a lot of the scarcity mindset, right? So a lot of things as a kid are caught, not taught. So I caught on a scarcity mindset when it comes to money, and a lot of people catch this on. So for me, my parents taught me that real estate was risky. Investing was risky. You just want to save your money and put it under the mattress, right? For lack of a better word. And so I kind of took some of that. I obviously had the scarcity mindset because I wanted to build more to the point where I felt abundant, that I felt like I had everything I needed, and that I could ultimately retire early. So I really deep dive into the FIRE movement. And I thought the best way for me to FIRE was to buy a lot of cash flowing real estate and then use that cash flowing real estate to replace my W-2 income. And I did this in conjunction with a stock portfolio as well. So my net worth is probably 20% stocks, 80% is real estate, and it's trying to focus on cash flowing real estate. So thanks to this scarcity mindset, I built up a $6 million plus net worth. And if I were to sell everything, and let's say I have $5 million and I use the 4% rule, that's $200,000 a year that I could spend and never touch the principal. So by all metrics, I basically hit that FIRE number. And so now that I hit this goal, right? So, a high-end pharmacist makes about $200,000. And I had a video talking about if I'm living off of $200,000 of my dividends portfolio, it's more tax efficient compared to my W-2 income. My W-2 income, I'm taxed based on ordinary income tax. So it could be 40, 50%. But if I'm just withdrawing 4% dividends from my, let's say, index fund portfolio, it's long-term capital gains tax, which is a sliding scale from 0 to 100 is 0%. From 100,000 to 500,000, it's 10%. So I'm at most going to be in a 10% tax bracket, or 15%. I forgot which one it was, but conceptually, I'm either 10 or 15% versus my W-2, I'm at 40, 50%, in terms of the tax bracket. So it's more tax efficient in that way. And so now that I hit my goal, now the mindset shift is, so the scarcity mindset, once again, got me to build this wealth, got me to buy real estate, got me to invest in index funds, got me to my net worth today. But this scarcity mindset will not help me enjoy the work I've done, will not help me live life on my terms. That's why, I'm still working, obviously, right? And I still feel like I don't have enough because I still have that scarcity mindset. And I was talking to Christine, my wife, about this. And, it was funny because we were trying to buy something on sale. It was literally $5. And then she was giving me a hard time. I'm like, dude, we both work. We're both worth quite a bit. This is nothing. Why are we arguing over this? And it's always funny. And then we're at a restaurant, and then I'd order another entree. That's maybe too much food for us. And then Christine was like, well, why do we need that? And I just said, well, honestly, I don't think I may come back here ever again because there's so many restaurants in Southern California. I want to try everything and leave this restaurant with no regrets. And she was just like, oh, I was talking to her. I'm like, so why are you fighting over $23? And then she was just like, well, I just feel guilty spending money. And that's what she was caught by her parents. She always felt guilty spending money on things. So I was just talking to her about that. I'm like, well, you don't need to feel guilty because we do this and then we both work and we can obviously afford it. It's nothing. Like $23 is like less than what we make in an hour, like way less. So like me and Christine are now trying to like pivot from that scarcity mindset. So mine is I just lack and I feel like I want more. For Christine, hers is feeling guilt about spending money. So now I'm trying to shift over to an abundant mindset so that I can enjoy my money. So what does that mean? That means, I've said it multiple times, so sorry if it sounds repetitive. It means that, I could sell a single family home. Yes, I'd be losing my amazing 3% interest rate. Yes, I'd be losing leverage and losing an asset that could appreciate, right? It could go down as well, right? It could go up, it could go down, it could stay the same. I think recently it's just been staying the same, but it could go down or it could go up, right? Those are your three options. And I could use that to pay off my primary residence, wipe off my mortgage of $5,500 a month. And at that point, I don't even have to work anymore. Or I could choose a job. Maybe it's a remote job that pays me less, but is less stressful. So I'm not forced to do a higher stress job that has a commute. I can afford to take a job of no commute that's less stressful at less pay, right? So that's what I mean by optimizing towards lifestyle. And once again, I have to learn how to do this, right? It's not natural for me to do this. So I need to use my wealth, take away the scarcity mindset, and then use that to enjoy my life. So in terms of like, for me, if I want something, I usually buy it, right? But when I want something and I buy something, I'm very methodical and does this make sense to buy it? So I don't splurge buy. I really think about it, like, okay, like buying a sofa. Like we've been wanting a sofa, or know that we've been wanting to replace our sofa for like 6 months, and we're just like, hey, like let's just slowly take our time. Let's just think about, like, the sofa that we have is still good, but let's just kind of analyze what size sofa makes sense for us and what price range. And we found it on Costco and we struck and we bought it, right? But we're very intentional with how we bought it. And my next thing too is like, I want to buy a laptop, and because I know my laptop's at the end of life, so I know what I want, and I'm waiting for the deal, and then when I see it, I'll strike. I'm not in an urgency unless my laptop just breaks tomorrow or today. Then in that case, I'll buy one tomorrow. So I've never had that issue. I think for me, it's just like, my mindset shift needs to be, how can I optimize for my lifestyle? And right now, the biggest lever of my lifestyle is basically having no commute, or basically having a potentially easier job, right? At that point. And then for me, I'm just waiting for kids to happen to reassess my situation and see how I want to pivot. For Christine, my wife, it's how do I not feel guilty spending this money? Because I'm just like, don't feel bad for like spending like $20. Like, it's whatever, right? Like we can make that money back. And I told her, I'm like, we have way more money than we need right now. And on top of that, like, I'm still going to work in a capacity. I'm not going to, like, even if I'm not a pharmacist, I'll still be like, creating content or like coaching or mentorship. It's just that it's not going to be as much as my pharmacist salary, right? But like I said, I can live on my dividends. And I just told her, like, worst case, we retire for a few years. And if we need more money, we can both go back to our pharmacist jobs. Like, we can come back part-time and, still make like, let's just call it $150,000 as the average in California. Like, and we both work as pharmacists, $300,000, like, together. And like, that's despite us not working for, a few years, because, pharmacy doesn't really change that much, in terms of the job. So I just said, like, what do we have to lose? Like, even if I step away, I could still work. And like I said, I think she just feels like, because we're young, we need to be working. But I was trying to reframe it with Christine, my wife, that, well, we've built up this net worth, and what I've built up takes people maybe 30, 40 years, and I was able to do it in, about, let's call it 15 years. So why are you punishing me for being more efficient and good at what I'm doing? So, that's all I was trying to instill on her, because I told her, like, most people's fire number is like 1.5 to $2 million, and we already, triple, 3.5x that. Albeit we live in a more expensive area, and mortgage is gonna be higher, but I'm gonna pay that off. And despite that, we can still live a good life. And then, knowing me and Christine, we're very intentional how we spend our money. Like, we optimize towards experiences and travel, and everything else we try to find ways to, like, be more cost effective in things, right? So that's really what it is. And I even am talking to Christine, my wife. I'm like, the moment we have kids, like we're gonna hire a maid to clean our house every 2 weeks. It's gonna cost $500 because I consider this a luxury. Right? That's $500 at the end of the day. The moment that we have a kid, we can go to Massage Envy, right? Like that's what, $1,000 a year. I said the moment we have a kid, like we can get Walmart Plus. Walmart Plus is like $100 a year, and it gives you free shipping. Like if we buy a bunch of stuff from Walmart, you just order it on the app, and they'll just ship it to your house for free. It's just like Amazon. I'm like, like we don't go to Walmart a lot now, but like when you have kids and a family and they're eating a lot, like you have to go shopping frequently, and maybe we don't want to do that. So I'm already instilling like, okay, like everything I just listed, I made 500, Massage Envy 1,000, Walmart Plus $100. Like that's only like $600. We can do it right now. Like literally, we can do it right now. But it just, it's just two people living in the house. So the house doesn't get that messy. But once we have kids and we want to prioritize some of that, like we can do this. And then she was just like, huh, you're right. It's not even that much. So it's not even that much for us today. We can do it today. But we're like, you know what? We'll just kick the can down the road a little bit. And then when we have kids, then we'll, pay for this convenience and make our lifestyle easy. So it's really being very intentional in like how you spend your money and how you allocate your money. And basically it's for me, like I said, trying to get out of that scarcity mindset. Help me build wealth, but it's not going to help me enjoy wealth. And then for Christine, it's like, well, guilt helped you save money, but it's not going to help you live life, right? Like I would say Christine's more of a saver than she is an investor. I'm more of an investor, but both are possible because we're able to save money, right? I'm only able to invest because I save money. Christine is able to, she does investments, she does 401ks, she owns a rental property herself before we're married. And basically she likes doing like CDs, like more conservative things. So it balances out pretty well. But that's kind of the key thing is like, because she's able to save and because I'm able to save, I'm able to invest, and she's able to do some stuff too. Right. And then Christine was just like she was telling me that it's interesting. Like she's used to having a big goal to save for, like paying off student debt was her first goal. She paid that off. After she bought a house, her next thing was to buy a house. And then she bought a house. Like she has 2 houses. And now she's like, huh, like what do I save up for next? And I was just like, well, the next logical step is like, you want to pay off your house. And then I'm just like, well, I could literally sell a property, pay off my house right now. Now what? But it can be done. So now it's like, oh, like maybe we gotta like start to enjoy our money a little bit and not feel guilt spending the money, right? So, obviously there's a complete extreme where people are like just spend their money without even thinking about it, and then they're in credit card debt, they're broke, they have no savings, have to work for the rest of their life. So for us, we're on the other spectrum where, hey, like we've grinded, we built wealth, now let's enjoy it, right? So that's the whole point of it. So anyways, hopefully you found value from this video. Hopefully you learned how to slowly shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance as you build wealth. Otherwise, let me know what questions you have. If you want to join my mentorship program, click on my link tree down below. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.